Remember this?
Pulls up, wants to use the window and hit the top of the glass. Missed badly on that one.
In 2021, LeBron acted as the GM and brought his friends to the team. While the Lakers were trying to get Buddy Hield, who would have been a perfect fit at the time, James commanded that the team take on Westbrook's massive $44 million per year. This completely shut down their cap space, and he was an obviously bad fit from the beginning, with the lack of shooting and floor spacing being the clear indicators. But LeBron solved these issues by getting a 37-year-old Carmelo Anthony, and while he was okay shooting the ball, the way that he was targeted on defense was laughable.
Green looking to give the Rockets the lead, and he does! And there's Green, a little dipsy-do by Carmelo Anthony.
All those old guys, they're cooked. Well done. I love Carmelo. It's over.
So this experiment ended catastrophically and the Lakers missed the playoffs.
I don't have to answer. You know.
The solution was to fire Frank Vogel, the guy who led this team to the title just 2 seasons prior. And what's happening in this offseason is almost exactly the same scenario that could end up in a debacle. Instead of trying to improve the roster that finished in the play-in, the entire focus for the Lakers has been on drafting Bronny. This was of course fulfilling LeBron's wish, despite the Lakers hilariously justifying this pick.
Hey Bronny, you got Rob Pelinka here, Coach Redick. I think first and foremost, you've worked incredibly hard, man. You put in a ton of work. You're a player of high character and a person of high character, and that is valued at the Lakers.
And we don't even need to talk about the reason why JJ Redick became the coach. A rookie coach, by the way, on probably the hottest seat in the NBA. All the eyes, the media, the pressure will be on him. And he got thrown in there just because LeBron liked him. I mean, there's no way in hell anyone is believing this.
LeBron and I did not talk about the Lakers job until Thursday afternoon, about 30 minutes after I was offered the job. He did not want to be involved in this.
Meanwhile, the Lakers haven't done a single thing to address the real issue, which is the roster itself. A 40-year-old James is not leading this team far in the playoffs. They needed firepower but pretty much whiffed out on all the major free agents. The only hope for now is that they can somehow make a move for DeRozan, who's been one of LeBron's preferred options, of course. And worst of all, even if they get him, the outside shooting and the floor spacing will remain bad. Last year, the Lakers were 28th in three-point attempts and 24th in makes. You are not winning in today's NBA without a solid three-point presence. Maybe they believe they solved that with their 17th pick in Dalton Knecht.
To start, they took it down. There were boos coming out. They want to see it. Dalton connect. Out to connect. Left alone. Can't do that.
Whatever the case may be, to me they are so far among the losers of free agency, and I'm wondering who they're going to blame when it all comes crashing down on them next season. Speaking of losers, we got a bunch more headlined by the Denver Nuggets. I mean, what are the owners doing here? By refusing to pay up when it matters, they have now lost key players in 2 consecutive seasons. And if Bruce Brown's significant bump in salary was not realistic for them to match, Denver absolutely could have and should have kept KCP, a major piece on defense as well as a reliable three-point shooter. Not to mention the continuity factor, he was a seamless fit for this team. Thing is, I knew that it was over as soon as I heard the GM say this.
Christian Brown's one of the best net rating guys in the league. Like, if he's a step into the starting lineup, like probably projected, I think, we'll be okay if KCP doesn't return.
They were already decided that they weren't going to pay KCP his number, so now it's Christian Brown stepping up? If the Nuggets are thinking that they can run it back after losing yet another major piece while the Mavs and the Thunder got way better and Minnesota will only progress with Edwards, wow, the Denver front office are lying to themselves. Not wanting to pay and keep the core together when you have a generational talent like Jokic in his prime leading the team is just sad. What's really sad, however, is witnessing the end of an iconic era. Klay is gone, and it's not like they replaced the legend with someone who's gonna help them compete for a championship. They are in play for Markkanen, but he doesn't move the needle. This is not going to be a contender. So what are the Warriors doing? And how does Steph Curry feel wasting his final years going pretty much nowhere? Also, how does Giannis feel? He watched the Knicks and the Sixers get significantly better, and meanwhile, Milwaukee did nothing to close the gap with the now champions Boston Celtics, who are a real juggernaut and clearly the best team in the East. Then what in the world are the Clippers doing? They watched PG leave for absolutely nothing in return after pretty much giving away a whole truck full of picks and players to the Thunder for him. They're left empty-handed now, all because they didn't want to give him a 4th year on his contract. And at the same time, they signed James Harden to a whopping $35 million per year for the next 2 seasons when literally nobody would give him that type of money on the market. Crazy. So now they randomly brought back Nick Batum at almost 36 years of age and got Kevin Porter Jr., who's been out of the league for a while and a highly controversial character, mind you. Derrick Jones Jr. is a good addition, but they're definitely going to lack some firepower in the West, especially with Kawhi's availability always being a factor. As for PG, he created a trio that the East should be afraid of, along with Embiid and Maxey. But the Sixers should be afraid as well, since all of this is predicated on the health of Joel first and foremost, and then George himself, of course. Still, this is a huge deal for Philly, and they're among the biggest winners in the East, along with my New York Knicks.
Yes! I know that y'all are sitting out there and y'all saying it's Mikal Bridges. He's a good player, but it ain't like you got KD or somebody. Bump all that, okay? I still think we need another piece, but we have moved in the right direction. I like that!
Just a quick reminder that I got some new designs up on my merch store and I love how they came out. We got Luka with the smoking rifle here in the Wild West. Then there is this Wemby design that looks awesome, really emphasizing his length. And check out Book here with his fancy retro car and the Arizona desert in the background. Of course, I have to have a shirt for Lakers Nation as well, so here you have Bron, AD, and Reeves. Click the link in the description and check them out. But the true winners of free agency for me are Dallas and especially OKC. The Mavs upgraded a finals team with 3-and-D players and Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes. Both can hit the 3, they can put the ball on the floor and attack closeouts. And although they may not be as versatile defensively as Derrick Jones Jr. was, both Grimes and Marshall are pit bulls on the ball at their positions, so the depth on this team is improved. But of course, they also added an almost 39% 3-point shooter on high volume last year. The narrative is that Klay is washed, but I'll take those numbers, especially with his proven performances in the biggest games. And now he'll have a chance to play in those big games again as Dallas looks to repeat the success from last year and even go one step beyond. Now, I can guarantee you that the Thunder are looking to do the same, especially with their additions. They were the 4th best defense in the league last year and upgraded that with one of the best defensive players in Alex Caruso, 2nd team all-defense last season. Teams will not be able to score on the Thunder. Caruso also comes off of a career-high season in points and 3-point percentage. Amazing signing. But then they add one of my favorite players on the Knicks last year in Isaiah Hartenstein, and this becomes a legit roster. Dude does everything. Defense, rebounds, putbacks. Also, his floater is basically automatic. And he does all the little things that a team needs to win. So with the young guys on OKC naturally taking a step forward and improving, this squad could easily be in the conference finals, and that is wild. Man, draft day and free agency were crazy. And on that same topic, did you know that Vince Carter was actually a Golden State pick, but they traded him to Toronto right away? Man, the entire history could be different. I have a whole video with the craziest draft day trades that changed the NBA, and you gotta check it out right here. Talk to you in the next one. Peace out.